we're going to go over the parent portal for Powerschool today. Can everybody hear me? We're good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm going to share my screen so that you can see. Here. All right. So this will be the URL you need to go to. It was sent out in an email, I think in September, but I can add it to the chat just so you have it again. Or if you have any questions, you can just email me and I can send you the link and your account information later. If you've already created an account, this is where you would just type in your username and your password. If you haven't, you will need a little bit of information from us in the tech department, but you'll go to create account, click create account. You will enter all of your personal information, what you want your email, your username, password. And then the information you'll need from us is the student access ID and password, which would link your student to your account. And then once you do that, you'll just go down and hit enter. And then you'll have, all of your kids under one account. If you haven't gotten to this step and you need help with it, you can email me after this and I will send you all the access IDs and passwords to get you started. But once you have your account set up, you would just type in your username, password, and sign in. And I only have one kid, so it's just taking me to his page. But here's where you would switch between the 2, 3, 4, however many you have. And so this is kind of their main page where it shows your classes, the schedule, your absences, tardies, and then these are the reporting periods. So elementary is a little different, and they aren't inputting grades. They're standard based, so you aren't going to see anything in there. But for secondary, if you click on the I under semester 1 or quarter 1, it will take you to a page, and you'll see all the assignments would be under here, and you'd have all the details. And you see the icons next to it. So if they turn it in late or if it's missing, maybe it's just a formative that they've collected, but it's not going to count in the grade. You'd see this exempt from final grade, or if they were absent from it and it was something that they can't make up, like a class discussion or something, you might see this. But all of that would be found here under assignments. And then once teachers have entered comments, like maybe at the end of the semester, you would see those here, and you could see the grade for that reporting period, whether it's semester 1, semester 2, or the end of the year. So that's pretty much it for this grades and attendance tab. If you click on the absences, you will see the dates that they were not there. And if you want to get in contact with any of the teachers, you can select this button next to their name and it'll bring up their email. And the same would work for tardies. There's just none on here for me to click, but it would show you the date so you'd know if they were late. The second one is grade history. That's there's not going to be much in that unless your student is in 10th, 11th, or 12th grade. So all the information that's been transferred over as of now, it's just what's needed for transcripts for college. So anything from 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and we're working on getting that inputted now, but my kid's in pre-K, so he definitely doesn't have any grade records. But this is where you'd see it. So, if you have a senior this year, you would see grades from 9th, 10th, 11th, all on here, what their final grade was. An attendance history, it's just more of a detailed view of the attendance, and you can look back at, every week and when those absences happened. What day, what what class. But in elementary, they just take attendance really just one time in the day in the morning, so you won't see it spread out as much as you would if you're a secondary student. And then this email notification is where you will set your preferences. So you'll see I have my email account there. If I want this sent to an additional email, any notifications, you can put that here. And then you tick these boxes for whatever you would like to see. If you want a report of attendance, assignment scores for each class with details, or a summary of your grades and attendance, school announcements. We don't use the balance function, so you won't need that. And then at the bottom, it's just how often. So mine's at never, but you could set that to weekly, every 2 weeks, monthly, or if you wanted daily and just get daily updates. And then this box you take it if you have more than one student, and it will apply that to all of them. And if you just want this information right now, you can tick this box and say submit, and they'll email it to you. So like you saw in the grades and attendance tab, this teacher comments is just going to be a more detailed breakdown of those comments for each of the reporting terms. So you could select the reporting term and you would see the comments in there. You can also email again from here. Forms, we don't have anything in the forms section as of now, but what this will hold will be just class forms, general forms. And what I mean by those is, once all this is over and we have field trips again or sporting events, and there has to be forms signed by parents, you could find those forms here and you would just digitally sign them, saying you're okay with them going on the field trip, or it could be even just like the bus guidelines at the beginning of the year, or the tech device guidelines. You could just sign those here, and it wouldn't involve, having to send papers home, get them signed, and bring them back. School bulletin is where the admin might post something if anything is coming up. So you can check here. There's currently nothing on here. Class registration, it's not used because we just transferred over to this, but this would be where for secondary students, they could pick their electives. And so, they would be able to go in and you'd be able to see as well what classes are being offered and what works best in their schedule and what they'd like to take. Balance we don't use. That's just more for like lunch and things like that, but and fees. And then the schedule, and this will be different for each student. So you would. So if you click on that, you'll see the schedule for your student, where they are, what classes they have that day. If you see.
Somebody has a hot mic.
If you see this icon right here, that just means that there's a co-teacher in there. So for elementary, that's usually the assistants. But you click on it, you can see who the teachers are. And then in some of them, it might be, an aide or some other form of assistant. But if you click on it, it'll give you all the details of what they are and what role they have in that class. And then school information is just your basic, the address of the school, not much in here. And then account preferences is where you would set up the email that you want. If you wanted to change your username or password, you could do that here. And the language, but it just offers English at this moment, so not much to choose. If you sign up and one of your students just doesn't get in there for some reason, this is where you would go to add them. And you could click add, and then you would just enter that same access ID and password that we would provide for you. And then you could choose, you know, are you the father, mother, if you're an aunt, uncle, any of that. And then you hit OK, and then that would add them to your Powerschool portal, which would add them here. So it'd be a drop down between kids. The bottom here, you can see the overall absences for the year. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. If anybody has any issues getting their account created, you can just email me and I'll help you get that all set up too. Does anybody have any questions or? I am adding my email in the chat right now. Thanks for the suggestion. There's that. But yeah, so if you just email me, I'll help you today or tomorrow get your account all set up if you haven't already. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward. And if you get it logged in, all set up, and then you have any questions, you can email me at any time. If not, that's all I've got for the Powerschool SIS parent portal.
Sorry, I have a question, Jason.
Okay.
Can you show how to set up the app? Because there was something I tried and then it asked for some district code or something, and then I just gave up. So could you quickly run us through that, please?
Well, it's hard for me to show on a computer how the app works, but once you sign in, there is a place underneath where it asks for the district code for, I think it says search for school or school search. But if you click on that, you can just search for the Rabat American School and it'll load you in there. So it says, where it says district code, it just says, where's my district code? And you'll select it and you say search by school or district. I think this is the district code. They told me they were moving away from using the district code, but I think this is what you would enter here. But you can also just search for it through the app. And it should take you right into it. Yes, yeah, you can get the app at the App Store, just type in Powerschool. I think there's only one. It only works for parents and students, so there's not an app for teachers or admin, so there won't be more than one to choose from.
I had one quick question.
Okay.
Although there was an email that went out from Ms. Koenig today that alluded to the fact that there might be some weirdness with the app, but I noticed that when our kids went virtual because they were put on confinement and they were being marked present for being virtual, they were simultaneously coming up with all these tardies as well. Is that one of the glitches that's happening?
You know, I don't know about that. This is the first time hearing about it. That's not one of the glitches. The glitches she was talking about is kind of on the actual progress report. There's just a few things that are that duplicate. And at the top of the progress report, it says how many days they were present in the year. And it's just not calculating that correctly. It's just saying that everybody was there every day instead of subtracting the absences. But I can look into that and get back to you.
I can even ask the teachers directly. I noticed it was for every single, they're marked differently when they're in school versus when they're virtually in school.
Yeah,
And,
there's like an off-campus absent and an off-campus present.
it's new to me. So yeah, that's fine. I was just curious if it was a program-wide thing, or maybe it's just my student.
No, yeah, I can help you look into that too. But it shouldn't, because those just affect the absences, and we just had to split those off so we know who's actually on campus in case there's a fire drill or something like that. Any other questions?
I have a quick question. I think it's
Okay.
probably unique to us, but we were able to log on to Lola, our daughter Lola's account, linked
Mhm.
page, I guess, and it appears she has no absences and no grades. So I know she's been absent, and I suspect she has some grades. What do you think?
Yeah, I would say so. So on the screen, like you're seeing here, if you click on the I, do you not see any assignments or grades?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to email me her name and everything, and I can look into that and see if it's what's going on there.
Cool. Okay. That sounds
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Thank
She
you.
definitely should have some grades.
Oh, wait, maybe there are grades.
You have to click each eye, right, and go into each one individually.
Yes.
Is that right, Jason? That's what I thought. It was a
Yes.
little unuser friendly.
Oh, wait, let me look.
Yeah, because our grades aren't averaged together, so it's especially at this point for progress reports. So that's where that I would be if it was if we were on a 1 to 100 scale and if they had an 89%, you would see that there. But when you click in, you should at least see the assignments and what grades they have for the assignments. Regina, are you talking about this here?
Yes. Okay, I have two questions. But when I click in the eye to see the
Uh-huh.
grade stuff, there's I have an exclamation mark, but it's nothing I can click on. And then there's a green check mark circle.
Okay. You'll see at the bottom there's just the legend, and
There
so
is. Thank you.
the green check mark just means it was collected. So it might be just like another formative that was just not graded. It's just they did it and turned it in.
Okay.
And then the exclamation point is missing.
Yeah, I scrolled down. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
You're welcome.
For the app store, is it Powerschool Mobile? Not Powerschool.
I honestly don't know the difference. I can look it
Yes, Powerschool Mobile. I just downloaded it and it works perfectly with the district code.
up. All right, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Does anybody else have any questions? If not, I will end this, and you can just email me from the email on the screen. It's just jfalkenberry@ras.ma. I know the last name's a mouthful, so you might need to write it down, but it's in the chat. If not, thanks everyone for joining, and definitely feel free, whether it's Powerschool or Schoology or any other questions, just email me.
Thanks, Ethan. Good
Oh,
night,
thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
Good night too.